On the 1st of January 2000, after a beautiful New Year's Eve, Susan is in her room. This is the beginning of a new millennium, she thinks, and I want to become a 21st century teacher. Susan graduates in modern languages in London, and then she decides to travel around the world. It's time to see how what she has learned from books actually works in practice. She wants to find a way to mix up tradition and new technologies, humanistic approach and effectiveness. Susan has heard a lot about Montessori, so her first destination is Italy, where it all began. Stepping inside a Montessori school, she sees children busy on different tasks. The teacher observes them, doesn't speak, and is not sitting behind a desk. Actually, there are no desks at all. The environment is stimulating, colorful, and very tidy. Children can reach anything they need in the room. There is a child using the symbols for the noun family and the sentence analysis chart. Shapes, symbols, colors to touch, move, invert, to feel grammar in your hands. Susan notices, "I love playing hide and seek." The teacher also sees the mistake but doesn't correct. The student uses self-correcting matching cards, checks the sentence, and miracle! I love playing hide and seek. Susan likes this a lot. Next destination, France. Susan looks for a school based on cooperative learning in the footsteps of Freire's methodology. In a little rural school, she meets Celestino and his students. They tell her how they study science by walking in a wood, how they have discovered the history of their village through interviews and visits to the local museum, and how they write a class newspaper to collect all their stories and experiences. At the moment, the students are writing in a letter to their pen pals in the London school, and they are doing it in a cooperative way. Susan thinks, wow, that's what they did to learn and practice English. What a great idea! Before printing the final version, teacher Celestina asks the students, "Can you correct the sentence?" The whole people in France like cheese. Altogether, the students make hypotheses, think aloud, rewrite the sentence, and try to understand what kind of mistakes they made and why. The sentence is correct in French, but not in English, where you should say, "All the people in France like cheese." The teacher thanks the students for making this useful mistake. Susan is impressed. Back from her grand tour, Susan lives in London in the East End, one of the most multicultural areas of the city. She hears an ESL school for migrants has just opened, so she goes to check it out. Stepping in the big room, she sees a multicolored bunch of 70 people in a circle and hears a resounding "Good morning!" But she can't see the teacher. She is invited by the students to take part in the circle, and after a while, it's her turn. "Susan!" she says. Susan realizes she has already learned some of the names through this game. Now the teacher asks the students to take a seat. First of all, she tells the story of her life and then presents the workshop technique. Then students are invited to represent this event using crayons and then to write about it in English. Cool, Susan thinks. Even those who have problems reading and writing or don't know English at all can express themselves by working with their hands. Then the teacher helps everyone to finish their story and make it famous using the words of the new language. At the end of the lesson, the students share their handcrafts and stories. Everyone speaks English. Holding the handcraft in their hands makes them feel more comfortable. Everyone listens and Susan feels there is empathy, care, and mutual understanding. Some of the texts are not completely correct in English, but Susan believes that what matters now is to give everyone the chance to self-express and use the new language.